Trump demands Kier Starmer opens up the North Sea.
Why is it that Nigel Farage, a man without any real power, gets an invite to Donald Trump's inauguration, while Keir Starmer, the UK Prime Minister, is left off the list? Sure, no British Prime Minister or monarch has ever attended a US presidential inauguration, but that's not the issue here. The glaring fact that Starmer didn't make Trump's exclusive guest list speaks volumes. Trump, a man known for making bold, symbolic decisions, rarely acts without a purpose. This feels like more than coincidence. Starmer, who's been outspoken about steering clear of Trump's political style, seems to have landed squarely on Trump's bad side.
So Facebook, Nick Clegg is out, Trump's man is in. All of the stars are lining up. I'm telling you, I've felt this for 4 years now, and so this to me is just, you know, the roller coaster is just building up speed. It's just brilliant.
And the message couldn't be clearer. Meanwhile, Nigel Farage, the outspoken Brexit advocate and staunch Trump ally, makes the cut. Farage has been an unwavering supporter of Trump's policies, even sharing the spotlight with him at campaign rallies. This feels like more than just an invitation. It's a calculated move by Trump, rewarding loyalty while brushing off those who haven't played by his rules. So, is this simply Trump being Trump? Or does it hint at deeper cracks in UK-US relations? That's the real question. Traditions may hold, but personal dynamics like these send ripples far beyond who gets an invite. For the record, no British Prime Minister or monarch has ever attended a US presidential inauguration. It's one of those unspoken norms. American politics stays on its side of the pond, and British leaders stick to theirs. But by extending an invitation to Nigel Farage, Trump has rewritten the usual script, and it's impossible to ignore the implications. Farage, a staunch Trump ally, holds no official political position anymore. So why him? It's clearly not about protocol, it's about relationships. Trump has always been transparent about rewarding loyalty, and Farage's unwavering support during his presidency seems to have earned him a coveted spot. The optics are impossible to ignore. A polarizing UK figure basking in the spotlight, while the current Prime Minister is conspicuously absent. What does this say about Keir Starmer? Perhaps it's less about tradition and more about Trump making a statement. A Prime Minister snubbed, while former politician grins from the sidelines, paints a striking picture. It raises pressing questions about how Starmer's approach to Trump is perceived internationally. Has his decision to distance himself backfired on the global stage? And if anyone is reveling in this drama, it's Katie Hopkins. The moment Trump overlooked Starmer in favor of Farage, Hopkins couldn't hide her plea. For her, this isn't just politics, it's pure entertainment. Trump's unapologetic trolling aligns perfectly with her unfiltered style, creating a spectacle neither is shy to embrace.
Let me tell you, it's the fact that Trump calls wind turbines windmills. He makes it sound like right? Windmills, like bagpuss.
Katie Hopkins has been loud and proud about her admiration for Trump's boldness. To her, this isn't just a snub to Starmer, it's a calculated jab. Hopkins, who frequently criticizes Starmer, sees Trump's move as a power play, a clear message about who's in charge and who doesn't warrant his time. But it's not just the Farage invitation fueling her delight. Hopkins knows Trump's style isn't rooted in tradition or diplomacy. It's about making waves and grabbing attention, and she's all for it. She's been gleefully sharing her thoughts with her followers, sparking outrage and fueling debates in classic Hopkins fashion. To her, this isn't just a headline, it's a signal of the battles ahead. She's convinced Starmer is out of his depth when it comes to dealing with someone as unpredictable as Trump. What's more, Hopkins isn't just cheering from the sidelines. Trump has personally invited her to meet him, a gesture that speaks volumes about how much he values her unwavering loyalty. For Hopkins, who thrives on stirring political drama, this invitation is nothing short of a jackpot, with Trump's actions handing her endless fodder. Hopkins is soaking it all up, ready to keep the controversy alive and blazing. This meeting isn't just about exchanging pleasantries, it's a personal stamp of approval from Trump himself. Hopkins, who has always aligned herself with bold and divisive leaders, now finds herself welcomed into the inner circle of one of the most polarizing figures in modern politics. Her social media is flooded with snapshots of her experience, ensuring everyone knows just how close she is to the action. While Keir Starmer remains on the sidelines, Hopkins is busy rubbing shoulders with Trump, sharing laughs, and aligning on key issues. For her, this isn't merely an invitation, it's validation, a clear sign that she's playing on what she considers the winning team in the political arena. Critics might dismiss Hopkins as a provocateur, but this visit does more than boost her social clout. It cements her role as a figure who doesn't just spark debates but also secures a seat at the table where the big decisions are made. What makes Hopkins' visit even more intriguing are the whispers about what's happening behind closed doors. She claims Elon Musk is part of the conversation, advocating for accountability and reportedly pointing fingers at Keir Starmer. If true, this adds yet another layer of drama to a spectacle already steeped in controversy. Elon Musk, known for his bold and often incendiary opinions, is reportedly furious over the handling of grooming gang cases and Starmer's alleged role in covering them up. This explosive narrative fits perfectly with Trump's signature style: loud, direct, and unapologetic. But the drama doesn't stop there. According to Hopkins, Trump is doubling down on his crusade against wind turbines, a topic he's railed against for years. Trump has long criticized renewable energy projects like these, labeling them as costly and inefficient. His stance perfectly aligns with Hopkins, who has always opposed policies she believes hurt ordinary people. Together, Musk's tech-driven outrage and Trump's no-nonsense rhetoric form a storm of contentious discussions.
I love it. Someone on here calling me a fascist. Imagine.
With Hopkins right in the thick of it, Hopkins is reveling in the chaos, sharing her excitement at every turn. For her, this isn't just politics, it's a powerful alliance taking a stand against what they perceive as weak leadership and misguided priorities. She sees this as more than a conversation, it's a movement aimed squarely at shaking the establishment and challenging Starmer's approach. Unsurprisingly, Hopkins thrives in the spotlight of controversy, and her supporters can't get enough. To them, her willingness to speak uncomfortable truths, no matter the backlash, is what sets her apart. It's this unapologetic boldness that leads some to wonder if Hopkins might be better suited to lead than those currently holding power. Hopkins has made it clear she values honesty over diplomacy. While many politicians tread cautiously, she charges headfirst into controversy, calling out what she sees as hypocrisy and incompetence. Her sharp criticism of Keir Starmer is a prime example. To Hopkins, he embodies everything wrong with modern leadership: too cautious, overly obsessed with public opinion, and disconnected from the issues that truly matter. Her followers admire her for refusing to play by the rules of conventional politics. They see her fearlessness, even when it sparks outrage, as a refreshing break from the polished but often empty promises of traditional leaders. Hopkins thrives on being a disruptor, challenging those in power without a second thought for the backlash. While some dismiss her as divisive, others view her as a necessary voice in a world drowning in careful rhetoric. For them, Hopkins isn't just a critic, she's a potential game changer.
Imagine thinking that what you think matters now. Oh, let me just count. Oh, Millet, Geert Wilders, Meloni in Italy, Macron's about to be out and Marine Le Pen's about to be in, Trump, he's about to be inaugurated. I mean, I don't know. Eastern Europe always standing firm.
Katie Hopkins isn't just mocking Keir Starmer's struggles. She's eagerly counting the days until his political career collapses. In her eyes, his leadership is weak, his decisions are flawed, and his time in power is ticking away. Hopkins believes Starmer's inability to forge relationships with influential figures like Trump exposes not just a lack of strategy, but a glaring weakness both at home and on the global stage. Hopkins hasn't held back in expressing her belief that Starmer is completely out of touch with the issues that matter most to the public. For her, this isn't just about being left off Trump's guest list or even Trump's notorious trolling. It's about a deeper failure in leadership. She argues that Starmer lacks the strength and charisma needed to handle tough global relationships effectively. In Hopkins' eyes,
Nick Clegg out at Meta, Keir Starmer soon to be out in government. I mean, it's just that we're winning so hard now that it's really difficult to be hurt by anyone. Come on!
Trump's rise represents a broader shift in leadership, a world where bold, outspoken figures who challenge the status quo, like Trump, are gaining traction. Starmer, however, seems stuck in the outdated playbook of traditional politics, which, Hopkins claims, no longer resonates with the public. For her, the question isn't if Starmer will fail, but when. And as she watches the political landscape evolve, she's convinced that Starmer's clock is ticking faster than he realizes. Has Keir Starmer damaged the UK's relationship with Donald Trump? Hopkins certainly thinks so. She argues that Starmer's cautious diplomatic stance and refusal to engage with Trump's bold political style have caused unnecessary strain. In her view, distancing himself from Trump wasn't just a misstep, it was a missed opportunity. Hopkins believes this decision weakened the UK's ability to leverage a strong relationship with the US, particularly during Trump's presidency, leaving the nation at a disadvantage. Donald Trump has made it clear Keir Starmer isn't getting an invitation. The reason? Likely Starmer's vocal disapproval of Trump, coupled with David Lammy's remarks and Sadiq Khan's protests about Trump being, in their words, a horrible man. In politics, you can't treat the game like a student union debate. If you do, you risk being left out when the important decisions are made. Next Monday, as Donald Trump is sworn in as the 47th President of the United States. It's hard not to see this as a glaring moment in British history. The fact that our Prime Minister won't be present feels like a significant stain, a missed opportunity for the UK to assert its place on the global stage during such a pivotal event. Critics of Keir Starmer, including Hopkins, argue that he missed a crucial opportunity to align with Donald Trump, a powerful figure who could have been a strong ally. Instead, Starmer's approach has been to remain critical of Trump, leaving the UK without a direct connection to one of the most influential figures in global politics. For Hopkins, this missed chance isn't just a small mistake, it's a critical error with potentially long-term consequences for the UK. She believes that when leaders like Trump, unapologetically blunt and willing to shake up the status quo, are ignored, countries like the UK risk being sidelined in the global power struggle. While Starmer may see his stance as a moral one, Hopkins views it as a failure to act in the national interest. She's convinced that this miscalculation will ultimately harm the UK's future relations with the US and beyond.